Yo, what's going on? Just HoopTalk Network. You're with Justin Henry, Will Thompson. Today, we'll be covering the number 4 seed Los Angeles Clippers and the number 5 seed Dallas Mavericks. They will be playing in the first round of the 2021 NBA playoffs. We're going to cover the strengths, weaknesses of these teams, along with some of the X factors for the series, and if we should expect to see the same results that we saw in last year's series in the bubble. Before we dial in with everything, make sure you are liked and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share, hit the notifications, all the things above. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. And yeah, man, let's get into this matchup. It's really a good matchup. It's going to be fun to see how the series plays out. We saw last year Luka kind of emerge in the step back game winner that we love to see.
Yeah.
But then we also saw the Clippers finally handle business. Some injuries to the Dallas Mavericks last year made it a little bit less interesting of a series than we thought it would be. But, I mean, this Clipper Mavs matchup is going to be one to watch. What are your thoughts on the series?
Yeah, this should be a fun series. Like you said, it's kind of carrying over from last year where it seemed like there's a lot of bad blood between these two teams, man.
There's about to be a rivalry.
Yeah, there's a lot of back and forth between these guys. A lot of big personalities, a lot of guys that are kind of have fiery personalities. I mean, outside of Kawhi, obviously, but
yeah,
a lot of guys that like to talk a little bit. So it should be a lot of fun. I think it's a little different than last year. I personally don't think the Mavs are playing as well as they were playing last year. I don't think they have as great of pieces around them. And I feel like the Clippers are better this year than they were last year. So it's different, but that could be, that could go either way, man. It really could.
I got to disagree with you on that, man. I think the Mavs are coming into the playoffs a little stronger. Yeah. I think that this year they were, towards the bottom there. They were like, oh, we might be in the playoff game. And they pushed to that number 5 seed. And when I look at this Clipper team, everybody says that they look stronger this year. But to me, I'm looking at it and I'm like, they don't really have that dog in Lou Will no more. They don't have that dog, Montrezl Harrell, anymore. They've gone through a lot of injuries this year. A lot of pieces that didn't really fit with this team kind of signed on. You got Nick Batum, Luke Kennard. It's like, do they fit? Do they not? And then one thing I noticed with this team coming in is they also tanked to avoid playing for some of these matchups towards the end of the year. I didn't like that. This team was supposed to be a top team in the playoffs, and it's like they avoided that Suns, Nuggets, potentially Los Angeles Lakers down there. Like they maneuvered towards the end of the season so that they could drop to the number 4 and play the Mavs and potentially the Jazz. To me, that doesn't seem like a team that's very confident in their abilities, which last year they looked like damn near the favorite to win the championship until they got tested by the Mavs and the Nuggets. Yeah. So when I look at this series, I look at a team, the Mavericks look like, okay, we know it's playoff time. We're switching gears. And the Clippers look to me like we just don't want to lose, which is a bad thing to do coming into the playoffs. When you start talking about star power, obviously this matchup is loaded with star power. And, we know a lot of the strengths of this team, of both of these teams. And it starts with Luka, Kawhi, Paul George. That's really the meat and potatoes of this matchup is which Kawhi shows up, which Luka shows up. Obviously, we know those are the two spearheads, but really which Paul George shows up because he was almost the sole reason that they didn't win last year.
Yeah, I think, the other guys are going to be key, man. So we talk about Kawhi. I think we know what we're going to get from Kawhi. He struggled a little bit in the conference finals last year, or the not the conference finals, but against the Nuggets. But typically, you know exactly what you're going to get with Kawhi. You know what you're going to get from Luka. I think the difference makers are going to be Kristaps Porzingis and Paul George. Two guys who are constantly up and down, man. Guys who can look great and who can also look absolutely terrible at the same time, man. So which version of one of these guys, whichever one of these guys shows up is going to be, I think, the difference in this series, man. And I like the way Paul George is playing this year.
Yeah.
I feel like he's got a little bit more of he's always had a chip on his shoulder, but he was using it as an excuse. Now I feel like he's using it as his motivation. I'm not loving the way Kristaps Porzingis is playing. To me, he doesn't look 100%. I'm just not seeing enough of him attacking the basket. I kind of see him being passive, hanging out around the 3-point line. I mean, he's always kind of been that dude, but he's got to be more of a presence inside for the Mavs. he was a difference maker in the series last year when he went out. That changed the series.
That's a good point.
So now he's here. So we'll see, man. But I think it's really going to come down to how well those two guys play.
Yeah. And, I think this Mavericks team, obviously, it really is Luka and Porzingis or bust with this team.
Yeah.
But they have some additional pieces there, too. When you talk about like a Josh Richardson, Finney Smith, where they can match up defensively against some of these wings that the Clippers have.
Right.
And I don't know, when I look at the series, I do see like that as a potential problem for the Clippers is like their depth. They don't seem as deep as they were even last season when you got Batum, Luke Kennard, Terrence Mann, DeMarcus Cousins, like Serge is just starting to get healthy again. You start looking at those pieces, like to me, they don't seem like they're as deep as they were last year.
Right.
And I don't feel as confident with this Clipper team. And obviously they didn't feel as confident with themselves about beating this team again. Like the Mavericks have to be going into the series thinking we almost beat these guys last year until KP got hurt. This is our series to lose.
Yeah, I think it's interesting for me with the Clippers because they relied so much on their bench last year. And I think that kind of came to bite them in the ass. And so I think them removing those two guys, even though they're great players, removing those two guys and just putting more on your main guys. Like
there he is in the back.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, man, it's been doing that. It's been going. But I think that's better for them. I think it's better for them to put more on Kawhi, put more on Paul George, and not rely on these guys coming off the bench to carry you. I love the addition of Rondo. More of like a coach leader type of situation, just to get them mentally focused, mentally locked in. If he can be a voice in these guys' ears, I think that's going to be big for them. I like guys like Terrence Mann. I think Terrence Mann's really good. He's a guy who can come in and get buckets. He's honestly similar to Lou Will, but with more size and more athletic. He's a guy who, as soon as he comes in the game, you know what he's doing. He's going to get buckets. So they have some good pieces, man. I really do like this team. I also
think this too, like last year, one thing that did frustrate Luka was having Montrezl Harrell in there to kind of like mess with them, call him names, whatever he was doing down there in the bubble. Yeah. And that dog is kind of gone. The only piece that could really replace that right now that they have on the team is like DeMarcus Cousins.
Yes.
And you got to start to think, what's Ty Lue going to do with this lineup? Is he going to keep it expanded with everybody who's been getting minutes? Or is he going to do what most coaches do during playoff time and really start to tighten things up to about 8 players? So I think seeing what lineups come out there for game one is going to be super important. Are they going to go full force and give Kawhi, Paul George 40 minutes a game, or are they going to rest those guys for a little bit, let them ease into the series? Because to me, that plays a big factor is, are the Clippers 8 deep right now, or are they 9, 10 deep in this series? Let's go on and make our predictions, man. Who do you have in this series? Because I think this series is one where, like, I think that the expectations are a little bit different than people are expecting.
Yeah, I have the Clippers winning in 6. And I'll tell you one thing. I think the Clippers do have a dog and a guy named Patrick Beverly.
Yeah, can't forget about Pat Bev.
I think we're going to see a lot of him on Luka. I think we're going to see a lot of Paul George. They're going to throw a lot of guys at Luka. And one thing that we've seen from Luka a couple times this year is he's been getting flustered, man. He's I'm not saying he's not mentally tough, but he lets things get to him and he gets involved with the refs. He starts yelling, he starts getting frustrated, and he kind of takes his mind off of the game. And I think the Clippers know that. And I know, Patrick Beverly knows that, bro. He knows that. So any opportunity he gets, he's going to try to get into that guy's skin. If they're
one more technical, and he gets a suspension.
Yeah, they can't afford it, man. So they're going to go at him, and they're going to be saying all kinds of crazy things to him. So I think we're going to see. I don't know. I don't think Luka is mentally. I think he's going to be mentally mature, mentally tough, but I just don't think he's there yet. And I think that's going to be one of the big differences in this series. So I got, the Clippers in 6.
Clippers in 6.
Yeah.
I think we have to see Rick Carlisle keep Luka in check, because if Luka can't control his emotions, that would be a big blow to not just this series, but any other series that they're in this year.
Yeah.
They absolutely cannot afford to lose him, no matter how well Jalen Brunson's been playing in his absence. that he's had the opportunity to this season. They absolutely cannot lose Luka, and Luka has to maintain his cool. We got to see some Luka magic, man.
Yes.
We got to see some Luka magic. It has to happen. I like the Mavericks in this series, and I know everybody loves the Clippers just like they did last year.
Yeah.
To me, I don't see it, man. I don't know how this pairing is going to work long term. Kawhi and Paul George. I think that they're both hell of players. Like, both of them are really elite players. It's just together, I don't know how it works, man. They don't look like they need somebody to take over and be that guy. So Paul George can do that. I think that this team will win the series. I think we see a middle version of Paul George, maybe, sometimes good, sometimes bad, which is what we've come to expect with him. Playoff P is a little inconsistent.
Yeah.
But I like the Mavs, and I like them in 7. I think this series goes the distance no matter what, if the Clippers or Mavs win. The Mavs are going to push the Clippers to their max, and we're definitely going to see Luka pull off something.
Dude, I'm really looking forward to that. This is, like we said, this is a huge opportunity for Luka to put everything that happened in the regular season, all the technicals and all that stuff, put it all to the side, put it all to bed, come out and just focus, lock in, make some big shots, put up 40. You know what I mean? Like, shake that reputation.
Yeah.
This game to the next level, man.
Don't let DeMarcus come in there and push you around and get in your head, man. Just leave it alone. That's what I mean. Rick Carlisle is going to have to take Luka. If it's a blowout one way or the other, he's going to have to take Luka out because Ty Lue's going to be like, hey, Pat Bev, this is your time to shine. DeMarcus, this is your time to shine. He's going to sick those guys on him. And I know Luka, man. He's going to get frustrated. If they're losing, he's going to get frustrated, man. So hopefully we get to see him for the full 7-game series. Let us know your guys' thoughts, man. Do you guys think the Mavs have the series, or do you think the Clippers are going to do what they're supposed to do and take care of business and end them? So debate us in the comments. Let us know if we're right or wrong, if we ain't been paying attention to the game like somebody said in one of the comments. Let us know what you guys think, man. We're open for everything, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you can catch all the playoff talk throughout the rest of the NBA playoffs. It's Justin Henry, Will Thompson signing off. Just HoopTalk, another edition of the books. We're out.
Yeah.